Do, 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 do. Good evening for those of you tuning in today. Who is joining us on this fine evening to watch this? What all I'm going to say is going to be an interesting game today. We have Zodiac versus Zodiac B, but unfortunately due to some internal issues on the side of Zodiac B, we are unfortunately faced with a 5v3 situation. We have given the option to both teams to, of course, continue this game. The main Zodiac team are happy to continue the game, and the fact that there are only 3 of them currently available today have decided that they wish to continue with this game. Hence, we are here today and going to be watching this one. Like I say, I think we all sort of know what the result's going to be, but hopefully, because these are 2 team organisations, or 2 teams that are within the same organisation, should I say, hopefully this can be a bit of a learning thing. Maybe, of course, we might see Zodiac B get a few good rounds in there. Of course, if the players show up big, then we may see as not necessarily a surprise result with regards to the overall victor of the game, but certainly we may see a few rounds actually going in favour of the Zodiac B team rather than the main Zodiac roster. It certainly depends on how they wish to play it here. And possibly the better side to be starting on at the moment. Yes, indeed, Chanka. 3v5, unfortunately. Yes, so basically, to summarise, there's been some internal issues on the side of Zodiac B, which has meant that several of their players are not available right now. One player will be joining for the second game if, of course, we do get to that point, but the other players are currently not available, meaning we are unfortunately left in this 3v5 situation. Both teams wish to continue and play the game, though, so we will just... that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And for some reason, my title has updated itself again, so 1 second while I get that. Zodiac B, it's European Rainbow 6. But I'm sure you guys will probably be well aware just by looking at this one. It's probably going to be quite a chill evening today, just watching this game together. Karmaz already pushing on into sight, has taken the head off Krusty, who is playing towards the CC position. A drone has droned out the fact that GXMO is currently playing behind the counter. Actually, no, apologies, it was Ruben who was playing in that position, is able to pick up a kill. Unfortunately, loses quite a bit of health in the process, as he's now being pushed off by the likes of Joshua, I believe, but Woods actually collects up that kill as GXMO does swing the corner from the kitchen. And now we do see Ruben running upstairs, trying to save his life as much as possible, left in a 4v1. Quite a difficult situation to win out. But just seeing that maybe one member of the team is AFK as he's now been TK'd, or maybe Zodiac are just messing around. Whatever the situation may be, Ruben is now just sat upstairs, not really doing anything. To be honest with both these teams, I'd like to see a bit of aggression, not necessarily running away from the remaining members of the Zodiac team. I may even message in the Discord chat to say that, of course, we want to see a bit. We actually, if they're going to play the game, then play the game. Don't just sit in a corner and hide for the rest of the round. But we will wait and see, of course, how everything continues. Ruben, suspecting that there may be somebody upstairs with him, is pre-firing through a wall, but all 3 members are currently downstairs. Woods has pushed on into sight and has now got the diffuser planted, and Joshua and Ilvgit are currently just playing around outside on the terrace.
Attackers need to protect the diffuser. Position compromised.
Reloading! Reloading! Cover me!
Sad I could be playing, but I have to cast a game where the teams are not playing properly. Well, it looks like this is also another one of those games, SPRX, so either way round. Hello, Batty. How you doing? Good evening, man. How are you today? It's nice to see that we've got 10 people tuning in for this interesting game that we're going to be seeing this evening. I think I might be playing next game, though, because Connor said I can't. Yep, you should be SPRX. As long as, of course, the second game is played, then you'll be able to get in and play for the second game. But like I say, it's whether one will actually occur. Who knows at this point? Hopefully,
Attackers need to locate and defuse
everybody
as
books
many
up and
bombs as they
actually
can.
tries to play the game. I know it's a shit situation to be put in, but at the end of the day, firstly, like, I've come here to cast. I can't really cast over people just sat in a corner for like 3 minutes. But then on top of that, yeah, if you're just messing around outside and TKing your friendlies, like, go play casual. Don't waste my time. I've got other things I could do this evening. So, I'm happy to stay here, and I'm happy to cast this game for these guys if they want to play it properly. So I've dropped them a message just to say so. And hopefully, of course, if the second game does come around and we do have a 4v5, things will be a bit closer. And of course, people may take it slightly more sensibly. Yeah, not too bad, thanks, lad. What about you? I'm having an alright evening. It's an alright evening. There's other things, as I just said, there are possibly other things I'd rather be doing than this right now. But because the teams want to play, I'm happy to do it. Just, of course, they need to take it seriously and play this properly. And we do see the side of Zodiac Beast setting up a relatively sort of, not to say strong, but very much a turtle defense at the moment. Of course, you see all three players this time decide to stick on site, leaving it up to the main Zodiac team to, of course, start trying to push in and take. And with lots of shields being bought on their side, they're hopefully going to be able to do something here. Being flashed off there, the Blitz now being pushed away. Ruben does actually get Karmas first, but Ilvgit manages to push off wide Jetsmo and does eventually take him out. Now pushing up close, he's just waiting underneath the shield is the likes of Krusty Hall. Hopefully he can get Ilvgit. And of course, being the Warden as well does mean that he might be able to survive slightly better when, of course, that flash is used on the Blitz's shield. Prefire coming through the soft wall, trying to get rid of him, but not landing any shots right at the moment. Ruben is currently waiting for them to push on in. But an Ash charge does destroy that Goa shield that he was hiding behind, so he has to fall off of his position. Of course, with that fire and the flames, he can't stick around much longer. He does have a second shield balanced on the bed, so that's where he's playing. But his pre-fire from Itux does take him out cleanly, and Itux pushing in sight does also now finish off Krusty. Krusty was able to pick one up before he went down, which is well played to him. But overall, as we sort of expected so far, unfortunately it is going very much in favour of the 5 versus the 3. Ooh. The bans that have come out though from both of these teams have been sort of relatively normal, despite the abnormal situation that we find ourselves in with this game being a 5v3. Jackal, Monty, Ella and the Valkyrie all being taken off of the board and not being allowed to be played in this game. But of course, maybe this is an opportunity for both of these teams to maybe try out some operators that maybe they're not quite as used to, or maybe try some interesting strats. And if nothing else, it's very good for the it's very good for the Zodiac B team to, of course, try in these disadvantaged situations to, of course, try and win out against unfathomable odds, and you never know, they might be able to do it. Certainly it's going to help them, and so far they have been putting up some decent numbers. Of course, we have only seen the first 2 rounds, but for the likes of Krusty and Ruben, they have both managed to get some kills on their side, which, of course, in a 5v3, you'd maybe even expect them not to be getting any kills. So very congratulations for them at the moment. For some reason, we're taking a while to load into this round number 3, so hopefully the servers haven't died. But yeah, Inspector Batty, sorry, just tuned in. Where are the other 2 guys? So there's unfortunately been some internal issues with the Zodiac B team, which has meant that of their full 8-man roster, they do actually only have 3 people available this evening. I haven't paused it, have I? No, I haven't. What is going on? This is very strange. Hopefully, of course, we do go into the... Hopefully go into round number 3 nice and quickly. Although so far it's not proving very good. But like, I don't know what's going on. Why is the game frozen like this? So I apologise. But I feel their pain on a spiritual level. Yeah, it is. It's a really crappy situation for them. Batty, because I think this could have been quite a fun and interesting game to watch between these two teams. Had, of course, both teams been able to field the 4-5, but unfortunately, due to those internal issues between some of the original team members and the fact that they can't update the roster, this is their last game of the season. There's not really too much that we can do, but the 3 players that are available from the Zodiac B team do want to play this game to completion, so that is exactly what they are going to do. Of course, they're expecting to walk away with a 7-0, but I'm sure they just want to use this for a bit of experience, still playing a comp situation, and hopefully the main Zodiac team does grant them that opportunity, and of course allows them to practice and try and improve through this process.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Sure, when we played them, both teams play very similar, so definitely would have been an interesting match. Indeed it would. A very, very good point. Both teams, of course, you can tell, are very much run from the same playbook. So, of course, having those two teams, of course, knowing exactly how the others play would be an interesting game, as we both said, Batty. But sadly, for us today, we are unfortunately left in this situation, but getting an opening pick, we do see Krusty having managed to get a nice little pick up there onto Ilvgit on the window, I believe. Playing the Glaz, but of course now no longer being of any use to his team as he's now been taken out. Where exactly did he die? Had he pushed up in 90? To be honest, I have no idea. Anyway, the Kebby has managed to get a long angle all the way across onto the Jaeger, who was prone all the way by the bathroom. Unfortunately missed all the shots though. Yes, Joshua, you missed. But now it is very much even as both teams are in a three bodies on the board apiece. Of course, this is maybe the moment that we may see the Zodiac B team being able to bring something back out of here. They're certainly playing for time at the moment with 1 minute 40 still left on the clock. There's still an opportunity for them to do something with this game right now. Something to do with this round, but we'll just have to wait and see whether they're able to make anything stick. We have had one member of the main Zodiac team unfortunately have to leave. I'm not sure whether they will be joining us back or what's going on there. But either way, if they do remain being unable to join back, then of course it could be quite useful seeing, of course, these teams just face off as they are. Now in a more equal 4v3 rather than a 5v3. Oh no. Tex has joined back, but unfortunately on the wrong team. I'm not quite sure why the game has done that, but Karmas gets completely surprised by Ruben, who was just sat in the corner of VIP, just waiting behind that bookshelf. A drone not having come out, of course, means that Ruben was able to catch him unawares and get himself another kill, but Josh has pushed up into the 90 corridor and does take out Ruben. Now leaving this very much back in a 2v2. The phones have been rung, as now Woods and Joshua decide exactly how they're going to be pushing on inside. Shots come through the soft wall, but not managed to connect onto wide GXMO. And unfortunately, not too many have been done back. Almost shots landing there you'd expect from onto Woods from GXMO, but unfortunately none managing to land just yet. Chris at the moment playing with those glasses on, just been flashed out, but fortunately for him, of course, he can still see. Despite with 15 seconds left, something has to be done now with the main Zodiac team. A flash goes in, but Joshua gets blinded and gets very easily taken out by Krusty, and now Woods is left in a 1v2 situation. With 4 seconds left on the clock, he has to make something happen here, but a clean little headshot from Krusty means that we see one of the 3 rounds played so far going in favour of the B team. Very nice to see. Anyway, with oh, I believe he's left now. Again. Wait, what is going on here? Let me just pause a second while we wait for stuff to sort itself out. So, Itux, or however you pronounce it, is here, but he's on the orange team, which he shouldn't be. So, bear with me while I try and get this sorted out. So just bear with me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Well, with Kosi having now left, hopefully when he joins back, he will now be on the right team, and hopefully it doesn't take him too long to join back. He will only join the wrong team from now on. Yeah, I know. I'm just going to resume the timer. Apologies that I'm not talking too much this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, it's a bit of an interesting matchup, and I'm also just trying to work out what's happening because of such an interesting matchup, being, of course, in the 3v4 situation that we find ourselves right now. Does mean it's going to be an interesting one.
Attackers have located a bomb. Ten seconds to go.
Hi, Beavish.
5 seconds remaining.
How you doing, buddy? Well, yes, if you'd like to... Unfortunately, though, we do not have emergency subs as an available option at the moment in the group stages for this season's league. Using one emergency sub if the teams require it in the playoffs, and of course moving into next season we are exploring the ways that we can implement the emergency sub rule so that of course people can't necessarily abuse it, but also it is available in circumstances such as this, so you could bring in other players. So we will just have to wait and see how that one works out. Excuse me. Otherwise you may even be able to, you may have actually been able to play Beavish, but of course for now unfortunately you won't be able to. Anyway, also while we have a few people in the stream, I'd like to say a quick thank you to the likes of Shams EU for dropping me a follow. Also Ynova R6. I don't think I said a thank you to you guys last time I was live, so thank you very much today for dropping a follow. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for joining the Elementals. We now have 151 of you crazy people that follow me and like watching my content and seeing the games that we get to cast on a daily basis. Well, not the daily basis. If it was a daily basis, then it's probably my job, which unfortunately it isn't. Karmas are going for the ultimate disrespect there onto Ruben. With Karmas playing Sledge, he does go in there and just remove Ruben from the board through use of that sledgehammer. Ilfgit has now pushed up the Cool Vibe stairs and has taken out Krusty, and it's now all up to Juxmo in a 1v4. He does manage to get the kill onto Ilfgit, but now with Josh planting close on the door, the callers maybe come out. Will he be able to push in and get this clutch? No, he will not. Karmaz holding the position behind the billiards table is able to take his head clean off as he tries to swing the double door. And we do see another round going in favour of Zodiac. As I've said before, though, not exactly surprising in this circumstance. But hey ho, it is what it is. Anyway, if you are wanting to go and hop across and watch a possibly more exciting game, or certainly one that would be slightly more evenly based, there is Black Angels versus Rebel Nation Shadow live right now over on Rainbow Six Chanka's channel. For those of you that know him, of course, you can go over there and drop a follow, and of course go and watch the stream. By the sounds of it, that one's quite the exciting game and would be quite an interesting one to go and watch. I'd like to go watch it myself, but unfortunately I said I would. Well, not unfortunately. That's a bit rude to these two teams. Due to the situation we've faced, it's not great for me, but I did say I would be casting this one. So because the teams want to play it, I am here, I am available, I am casting this game, and we will see, of course, how this one pans out. It's nice to have seen that the Zodiac B team have been able to actually get at least one round on the board for themselves. Proof that, of course, they can bring it to the main team even when they are in such sort of dire situations as this, faced with such a problem within the internals of the team. They are still making the best out of a crappy situation. Hi Kills, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's quite an interesting one tonight. Did you eat your dinner first this time, Elemental? No, I didn't, Inspector Batty. Unfortunately, my dinner, I'm sorting my own dinner out, I believe, because I think my parents are cooking their dinner right now, and because, of course, I'm doing this, I can't eat with them at the same time, so I'll just have to eat something later on. Just like a service entrance push is where the Zodiac Zodiac team is going to be pushing from, but now in a being outnumbered 2-1, Zodiac B are going to have to try and make this one work. But Woods walking in completely oblivious to the fact that Ruben was just sitting there underneath the kitchen window does get very easily taken out. Karmaz also losing 75 of his hit points as, of course, he gets pushed in. Ruben, nice little flick there, does collect Ilgit. Now C4 going out, not able to collect anybody, but now as we see Karmaz rotating around to the singular kitchen window, trying to get him right there. Where is Joshua? Joshua's now pushed on his site, he's now chasing after the likes of Ruben, using that Elamine, but not Elamine, sorry, Zofia charge. Not actually able to do enough damage onto Ruben, it exploded far too close. But now, oh dear, oh dear. Ruben unfortunately swings out exactly the wrong moment, and with that grenade being just close enough and him being on such low health, he is able to be taken out in that instance. If maybe he'd stood behind the counter and hadn't moved out at just the last second, he might have been able to survive. But very unfortunate for him right then and there. Oops. Whee! By the way, guys, it does sound like that maybe Black Angels have won the first map versus RNS. Exciting turn of events. Wow. Let's just say the RNS guys are being a little bit salty right now. They don't like Ella Shotgun.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
He ran into it, lol. Indeed he did, Kills, which is a bit of a shame, but hey ho, it is what it is. Kills, where do I remember your name? Did we play each other? So, Kills, I believe, is, or was supposed to be part of the Global Elite team with Callum, but unfortunately due to the situation where they had like 5 games to play in like the last 2 weeks, and most of the other teams not having the availability to do that.
10 seconds to insertion.
Oh no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Apologies, Kills. Apologies, Kills.
5 seconds to go.
You're from the... Are you from the Zodiac B roster originally? You okay, or are you... Remind me. I do recognise you, and of course I know you tuned in quite a few times previously. I'm just trying to remember exactly where. With the final round of defence before we see these two teams swap sides, though, we do see Krusty Haw bringing out the dreaded clash. Fair enough, Kills. Fair enough, Kills. I thought so. But yes, with Krusty now swapping onto the clash, this could be the opportunity that Zodiac B need to get one more round on the board before they swap onto the defensive side. Unfortunately, though, Joshua is able to get a cheeky little opening pick onto Wide Juxmo. I'm not quite sure where exactly the man was playing, but he's not playing there anymore, as a cheeky little pistol one, not quite one tap, but certainly pistol shots from Joshua are able to finish him off. Still with the 2 concussion mines left in that Zofia rifle does mean that, of course, Joshua can be quite a threat to the clash, and if, of course, the push comes out between him and another player at the same time, then it can be used to disrupt her shield position, and, of course, knock it to the side, allowing her to be more easily finished off. Cristo is going quite aggressive, maybe hopefully realises that there is a book behind him. No, he doesn't, and the knife comes out, completely taking Krusty out of that one. Ruben now left in a 1v4 situation. Can he go big or go home for this one? No, he can't. Eventually, Joshua, with the rest of his team behind him, pushed on in and collect Ruben, putting him down on the floor and securing a 5-1 in this first half between these two teams. Apathy, why is it a 3v4? So unfortunately, this evening, well, fortunately both teams wanted to continue the game, but unfortunately for the side of Zodiac B and kind of the main team, Zodiac B unfortunately have had some internal issues over the last couple of days, so there several members basically either can't make it tonight or just have left the team like unannounced, so they can't actually play tonight, which unfortunately has left us in this. It was a 3v5, but the 5th player from the side of the main Zodiac team, which is currently blue at the moment, had had an issue with the game, so had to close, and every time they join back now, they join on the wrong team. So they've basically just gone, you know what, it makes it fair anyway, so they've stepped back for a minute, allowing it to be a 4v3, but of course, with occurring, it is going to be a slightly interesting game, a very different one that we're going to be seeing today, but hopefully the second matchup between these two teams will be a bit closer, as we will see a 4v4 or a 4v5, as I believe SBRX, who is currently in the chat, will have finished with the cast of his game and be able to come over and join us for that one. So hopefully the second game will be a little bit more exciting than this one. Like I say, maybe it's not what people maybe want to come and see, but both these teams wanted to still play this game to completion, so we're going to. We're not going to, of course, tell them that they can't. It's always up to the captains, of course, that when they can and can't play. I finished about 5 minutes ago. Awesome, SBRX. We will get you back in as soon as we are able to then. But of course that will be in when we go into the next game. The starting position for the main Zodiac team will be down in the kitchen. And exactly how we see the side of the Zodiac B team pushing into this one will be interesting. Does seem though at the moment they are doing quite a varied split push. Like I believe, yes, Ruben and Jixmo have been pushing from Cool Vibes. Ruben has picked himself up one, but unfortunately dies in the process as well. Ilfgit manages to pick up Ruben, and now we see Krusty left in this 1v3. If only he knew that, of course, the entire team of the main Zodiac side was just completely off-site. Unfortunately, though, for him, the diffuser has been dropped. Whereabouts has it been dropped? Is that... it was on the Blitzer's body. So unfortunately, it is in a position that can be not necessarily seen, but it's quite close to the roaming members of the Zodiac team. So of course, they can get this one relatively... Well, they can stop the diffuser from being picked up and placed down. Of course, if Krusty did have the diffuser in pocket, he maybe could force down the plant and then just wait out time. Make the members of Zodiac have to come to him. But unfortunately for him and the rest of his team at the moment, the diffuser is down on the floor and he may be unable to collect it and pick it up. He's pushing forward though. Now has diffuse in hand. And now needs to just move around. He does hear noise behind him, as Mozzie has now got back inside, but a nice little push there at the same time means that Woods is instantly refragged by the likes of Ilgivit, who starts pushing in from behind and collects himself another kill, and round number 6 for the main Zodiac team. I think he would clap a team. Did you do a prediction before this game? No, I didn't, SBRX, since it's such a one-sided affair, because of course the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in, I didn't deem it really appropriate to of course be applying a prediction to this one. I think we could all that would happen is that everybody would predict on the team with 5/4 players, either Zodiac main team, and then nobody would vote for the B team. Chances are the B team wouldn't win it anyway, so of course at the very end everybody would just get the same channel points that they had to begin with back, which, like I say, to me that just doesn't make sense, because it's the same as if you hadn't actually put your channel points onto a prediction anyway. So I think in this instance it makes sense not to bother. So we'll just have to wait and see.
As many bombs as they can.
The second site being chosen here by the main Zodiac team will be the hooker and the billiards room. I'm having a moment of... Is it actually hooker, or have I got this wrong?
10 seconds remaining.
No Karmaz.
5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are heading out to the bomb.
Karmaz has just asked in the Discord group chat whether they can TK so that he is guaranteed the MVP spot, or can get the MVP spot. To which my response was, no! Play the game seriously. I know, of course, these maybe aren't necessarily the best of positions to find ourselves in with this 4v3, but of course at least play the game as it's meant to be played. Even if it ends up being a complete 7-0, which of course it's not going to be, it's likely going to be a 7-1 after what we've seen so far coming out from both of these teams. But at least play the game properly. Give us something to watch. Unfortunately though, as Krusty Hoare fires through that window, Joshua hears the sound of the Amara coming in and collects his head. But at the same time, Jixmo does completely take out the likes of Karmaz. No MVP screen for him if of course the main Zodiac team are able to win this one. Joshua, though, having swapped onto the Tachanka for this one, I believe this will be the first game that we actually see him in play. And probably the last at the same time. Since, of course, the new season has come out, it has been allowed that Aruni and Shankar are able to be played over the next few playdays and into the off-season. Or should I... No, sorry. Playoffs, not off-season. So, Tachanka is a viable operator right here, at the same with Aruni. Joshua does get himself a double kill using that breach charge to, of course, finish off the downed Tachanka of Joshua, and now left in a 2v2. We could see Zodiac being able to secure this one. Ruben as well gets himself another kill onto the head of Illguilt, and now just trying to get a bit of site control. The plants will be going down shortly by Ruben. Indeed, he's now pushed in, and it's all up to Woods in a 1v2 situation. He throws out his Echo Drone, but unfortunately it's going to be far too little, far too late, and unfortunately he's unable to deny that plant. Now has to push forward and collect both of these kills. Ruben has completely got the fuck out of dodge, but while Jixmo playing in the billiards room is able to pick up that final and third kill for himself, securing round number 8 for the Zodiac B team. Very well played there. Of course, being a man down right from the very beginning means that they are at a disadvantage, but it doesn't look like it the way that they're playing so far. Still able to get several kills between all of them. So far, of course, they're looking quite tasty and quite fresh on the kills front. And of course, we've also seen them come away with 2 round victories despite the deficit of the men. I don't know. I'm going a bit mad this evening. Indeed, I did just hear that Black Angels went unbeaten in this season. If I play next game, I'll top frag. Well, SBRX, I will hold you to that. If you don't, you've got to sub to the channel. There you go.
Attackers need to locate
Is that just top fragging on your team, or is that top fragging in the game? I think we need to get that clear before, of course, just fully shaking on the bet. But I'm happy to do that bet with you. But we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, here we are as we do now go into round number 9. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a plan. So, ladies and gentlemen, if game 2 is played, which I hope it is, we should be in a 5v4 or a 4v4 situation. SBRX has just put the bet on the table that he will top frag on the Zodiac B team next game. Otherwise, he will sub. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what this man is made of. I'm not sure what is better or what is going to be better for the Zodiac B team here. Whether, of course, the attacking side is more in their favour, being at the disadvantage, or, of course, the attacking or the defending side, sorry, is more in their advantage. Is it better to turtle in sight, use operators to, of course, play time and just sort of sit in sight, or if I do top frag, what do I get? I might gift you a sub. There you go. I'll gift you a sub to the channel. I think I can do that. There's not too many persons subbing at the moment, to be honest, but hopefully I'll get some sorted out soon. Joshua, though, with the opening frag onto YJXMO, it does mean that one of the crucial players on the previous round is now dead on the floor. Still left in a 2v4 situation, though. The Zodiac B team still has a chance here. How close Ruben and Joshua are. Joshua, though, able to pick up a double kill. Can he go for the triple? Ruben takes out Illguilt, though, and now left in this 1v4 situation. He will have to, in inverted commas, ace to win this one. And will he allow Joshua the triple? We'll just have to wait and see. Karmaz, though, does kill Joshua. Karmaz, I told you about this, take the game seriously. Evidently, he's not. As now Karmaz has pushed on into a more aggressive position, actually within Hooker. He doesn't quite realise, though, that Ruben has, of course, rotated all the way off and is just sat waiting on this Hooker window, waiting for anybody to cross in front of him. The other remaining player of the main Zodiac team is over by the double window. Almost sees the head of Woods, almost able to take him out. Woods going for the pistol, long range here. I'm not sure whether he's maybe got the shotgun as the primary weapon. If he does, the pistol is the best choice. But Ruben will just have to see whether he's able to eventually pick up this kill here. Karmazo still sat on that Hooker position behind the bomb. Is going to possibly be quite difficult to flush out, and with the 2x scope on Rook as well as on the Zofia, who will win out this gunfight will remain to be seen. Pistol shots coming out onto Ruben from the double window, but unfortunately he eventually pushes in and Karmaz is able to eventually pick up that kill, and with round number 9 behind us, we now see. Was that the full victory? Yes, indeed it was. That was a victory for Zodiac, as we'd maybe expect, given the unfortunate circumstances we find ourselves in. First game then goes to the main Zodiac team. I'm sure many people here will not be surprised with that result. Like I say, it is a shame that unfortunately we're not able to see both of these teams face up against each other at full strength. But the fact that they still all wanted to play is quite admirable, and it's good to see between these two teams. Ruben managing to go top frag, Krusty putting in some work as well, same with YJXMO. And of course, kills spread quite nicely on the main Zodiac team, apart from Woods, who was slightly lacking in that one. But of course, with only 3 kills available each game, it does mean, of course, that he maybe had to work for them a little bit harder, and with some of his other teammates being more aggressive and of course picking up those kills, he unfortunately wasn't able to maybe get as many as he would like. Sorry, apologies for my English. Anyway, we're going to have a short break. I'm just going to pop some ads running for you guys to, of course, help the channel out, so I greatly appreciate it if you could watch them. Meanwhile, we're going to get hopefully a couple more players into this one, so it should be either a 4v4 or a 5v4. We will wait and see. Anyway, after the break, hopefully everybody will be back in and we'll be ready to head to our second map. And hopefully with, of course, slightly better, closer match teams, with, of course, slightly better numbers, we may see some slightly more enjoyable Siege. But either way, I'm just glad that these guys are enjoying themselves, hopefully, and of course still taking it seriously, despite the unfortunate circumstances we find ourselves into. See you in a bit, SBRX. Hopefully you do well in the second half and try and uphold your bet. Anyway, as I said, I'm just going to run a quick ad break and get things set up for the second match, and I will catch you guys on the flip side in a bit. Hello everybody and welcome back to the second half of today's matchup. Both teams are now ready, so we'll be getting underway in just a few seconds. We do now have an extra player in for the side of Zodiac B, so things are slightly more even across the board right here. Unfortunately, though, we do not have any other available players for either team, so it will be a 4v4 for this second map. But with, of course, the numbers now being more equally weighted between these two teams, we will hopefully see some slightly better siege, slightly fairer siege, even, of course, if the result ends up being the same. But if the result ends up being completely different, then, of course, we will also see on that one. Like I say, though, it's just good to have it being a lot fairer between these two teams. And, of course, despite the unfortunate situation that is facing the Zodiac B team at the moment, they are still able to field a squad that can face up against an equal squad on the Zodiac side, even if it is just on the numbers. Anyway, it does sound like there's a lot of a very interesting game going on at the moment over on Rainbow Six Chanka's channel for Rebel Nation Shadow versus Black Angels. Black Angels have ended up winning the first map, confirming themselves as the first team going undefeated for the entirety of the league. They may have drawn in a couple of games, but they have not lost a single game through this entire group stages. That is 9 full best-of-2 games that they have either drawn or won, which is why they find themselves in the playoff positions that they do. And of course, I believe they find themselves in second place at the moment overall. Anyway, Rebel Nation Shadow will now have to secure themselves a win to also continue that claim to fame. Of course, that would then mean both teams go into the playoffs in a undefeated position, and the likelihood, of course, if Black Angels are able to make it through to the grand final, then it would be quite an interesting thing to see, as only one team would be able to walk away from that grand final with the win or with the loss. So it would be interesting to see which of those two teams do walk away, if at all, if that does indeed happen. Anyway, for now though, we will go and focus back onto this game, Zodiac B versus the main Zodiac roster. We will just have to wait and see how this one plays out. Anyway, for those of you who, who are tuning in tonight, thank you for dropping by and saying hello. If, of course, you do want to drop anything in the chat, it'd be greatly appreciated if you are new here and you do like what you see. Of course, maybe the game isn't the most exciting one that I've ever casted, but certainly if you would do like, of course, my casting and everything, then I'd greatly appreciate it if you could drop me a follow, and it also helps the channel out a lot, so that would be greatly appreciated. But anyway, it's nice to see a few of you tuning in tonight, even if there is only like 3-4 of you in the chat at the moment. And hopefully, of course, with a more even matchup between these two teams now being in a 4v4, we will hopefully see some interesting siege coming out, and maybe even a few more rounds going the way of the Zodiac B team. That's certainly what I am looking forward to. The starting site for the Zodiac B team will be starting upstairs in the Aviator and the Games Room. Mozzie, Jaeger, Elan, Smoke being those on the board. Of course, the Smoke brings that shield to the party. 1 C4 on the side of Mozzie that could prove crucial if the vertical is being played, or just for C4ing over, say, the dining table, or something like that.
Attackers have located a bomb.
As well as that, though, they do also have barbed wire, 4 pieces in fact, which, if you guys hadn't already noticed, of course, in the replay tool at the moment, not replay tool, in the spectator tool at the moment for watching these games, we now have ways to see all the gadgets that are currently available for both teams, which ones have been deployed, which ones haven't, which ones are still in pocket. That goes for drones, claymores, smokes, grenades, hard breach charges. Of course, you can see everybody's gadget to the right of the operator's picture, but of course stuff like C4s, shields, barbed wire, and also the reinforcements can now more easily be seen. SPRX Gamer going very aggressive now, running all the way over to the trophy room. He is playing the Ella shotgun, which is quite a dangerous weapon. RNS certainly have not been very happy playing against Ella with the shotgun in their matchup against Black Angels. SPRX just running down below though. Maybe he doesn't realise that the Maverick's there, somehow winning out that gunfight. Does he realise that he's managed to actually downwards in that spray? He is on only about 10 health though, so he didn't walk away unscathed from that gunfight. We'll just just have to wait to see. Christy Hoare also picking up a early pick. The 1C4 being used to the best of its abilities right there, collecting himself a cheeky kill. Where exactly was that? It was a blitz pushing up on the 90 hallway, and he takes him off the scoreboard completely. Now, of course, Woods has now been picked up by the remainder of his team, so it's now a 3v4 situation. And why Jixmo does now push up and claim the head of Karmaz. He doesn't maybe realise that, of course, the Maverick is right there. Pre-fire coming out through the Wolf window, but now being joined by the likes of Krusty. Krusty might be able to get a kill here. Or the SBRX gamer comes and finishes off what he started earlier. But now the Monty with his shield down is facing off against the remaining two. And eventually Krusty Hoare is able to finish him off with a clean headshot, taking out Joshua, who was playing that Monty. The first round then in this 4v4 matchup going the way of the Zodiac B team. Chiclet hit fire there, was able to claim the head of the Monty and secure the Zodiac B team around number 1. As I said earlier, it's certainly very enjoyable to, of course, be seeing both of these teams now actually in a more even position. Of course, we would love to see a 5v5, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances that this team is currently under, or the org is under in general, we unfortunately won't be able to see that. So instead, we will settle for a 4v4. Either way, it's certainly a lot fairer than we were seeing earlier, a 5v3 / then a 4v3. And so far, we've been getting better siege from it. Maybe the main Zodiac team have been getting a little bit, what's the right word to use in this situation? Maybe they've been getting a little bit comfortable in the position that, of course, they think that the Zodiac B team maybe isn't that good. But so far, of course, starting off this map strong, we have seen the Zodiac B team take the first round, and quite effortlessly as well. The only reason that one member was even ended up dying was the fact that SBRX Gamer was on such low health, and of course facing off a Monty at such close range. Just one pistol bullet was able to take him down. But of course, any other operator, he would have probably a lot more easily won that gunfight. And of course, maybe been able to walk away even with possibly a flawless round in their first one. Anyway, the second site of choice for the B team will be going down to the memorial room and kitchen. Or kitchen and dining, I'm not quite sure which one it is. Anyway, this will be the position that they start in. Hey, FA Nova. How you doing? So we'll have to see how these two teams match up. The castle being bought to, of course, do a... Maru has already rappelled up onto the roof. Thought it was going straight in through a window, but not in this instance. SBRX Gamer, goodness me, using that Ella pistol very well. Of course, has a better sight than any other weapon in the game, or any other secondary weapon in the game. So, of course, being able to use that to great advantage, and was able to collect the first kill for Zodiac B, putting them once again in the driving seat for this one. For some reason, SBRX decided to shoot his Ella mine. For some reason, not quite sure why. But we'll just have to wait and see whether it is all part of some big plan. Anyway, the Jackal is now rotated off of that laundry door and is instead going to the pantry window, but is now completely rotated off as well. Pushing down the stairs, SBRX Gamer picks himself up a double kill, completely taking the head clean off Woods, who was trying to sneak up the pantry stairs from below. Now contesting on to Karmas, who was playing the Jackal on the pantry window. Does walk away with quite a lot of health lost, but Karmaz is still able to survive on this one. And he's just sat patiently waiting outside the window, hoping and wanting someone to jump out. But the side of Zodiac B aren't stupid. Joshua is able to eventually pick up SBRX when he was on his roam, meaning, of course, he's now been completely taken off the board. But still in a 3v2 situation with Karmaz not having maybe the healthiest of operators right now, we may still see this one going in favour of Zodiac B. Footprints being scanned of Castle, so now his location has been given away by, of course, that Jackal track. And the Hibana being used as well to get this wall open. I'm not quite sure what was happening there. I could have sworn I saw a mute jammer being picked up or placed, but it does seem that maybe Krusty gave up on that one, or the mute jammer maybe didn't actually deny the wall continuing to be open. Not quite sure how that works. Anyway, somehow Karmaz eventually being able to win out that gunfight, of course finding the head of Krusty, but being left on a slither of hit points himself, probably about 3 or 4, does mean that, of course, he can very easily be taken out right here. No C4 being left in pocket now, as of course the only member who did have one, the mute of Krusty, is now dead on the floor, so a C4 through the floor will not be able to finish off Karmaz. But of course, at any range, I think at this point, just a small bullet to the left toe, and this man would die. Ruben just playing it patiently at the moment, waiting in the memorial room. For some reason deciding to melee his own barbed wire, which has actually probably given his position away to the likes of Karmaz, who is now about to swing in through this little breach hole made here. Joshua's though pushed on into the B site and is just looking for this remaining person. Ruben is able to pick up the final one, but with 5 seconds left on the clock, Joshua has to now go for the plant. Ruben appears to be having some lag issues. He's currently hitting about 400 ping, so the diffuser does actually get down and not much pressure is being applied by Ruben. Hopefully he does stop the lagging shortly, so he's able to, of course, try and clutch this one out. But with 30 seconds left on the diffuser clock, he's got quite a lot to do. Oh my goodness, Ruben. I hope you do stop lagging shortly, because this is very much your round to win, my friend. Shots now coming out into the pantry, not able to actually find Joshua at this moment, and with only 20 seconds left, Ruben is starting to go for that defuse. Just trying to bait it out at the moment. No pressure being applied by Joshua just yet. He's just waiting for time to tick down. The defuse is now going off. Joshua sees his head. Very unfortunate there, of course, that Ruben was lagging as much as he was. Otherwise, maybe he may have been able to clutch that one out. A shame for the Zodiac B team for getting themselves in such a strong position, but eventually the main Zodiac team are able to finish off the push, plant, and win for that second round. Hi, Frank. How you doing, buddy? What is this 4v4? So, to answer your question, the reason we are seeing a 4v4 today is unfortunately there have been some internal issues with the Zodiac B team, meaning that SBRX was unable to take part in the first game. He's now here for the second, and also every other player that is currently on their roster has either left or is unavailable. And because we're the final week of the group stages, we unfortunately can't reschedule this game, so it needs to be played. Well, it doesn't need to be played, it could have been forfeited by either team, but both teams still wanted to get it played, despite, of course, the numbers issues. And I think the main Zodiac roster as well, to make it slightly fairer for the Zodiac B team, haven't gone with their full 5, because they could have produced a 5-stack if they wanted to, but also their 5th member who was playing earlier has now seems to have gone and started to do better things. Either way, we're here right now, and we're going to see this one through to the end, even if, of course, it's not what we expected when, of course, I signed up to cast this one, and also what we just expected from these two teams. I was hoping for quite a close matchup. The first game, of course, being a 3v5, then a 3v4, meant that it sort of wasn't. However, of course, as we move on through this, now that it is a 4v4 and things are slightly fairer between these two teams, we will hopefully see some better siege coming out between the two of them. Excuse me. I do apologise.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
You can stop worrying about grenades now.
Once again, it does look like the side of Zodiac will be pushing on into sight, deciding exactly where to go through. Some Hibana pellets being wasted there on the banditted wall, I believe. Whether, of course, the bandit had just been placed down, I'm not quite sure, but either way, it did seem like a couple were eaten up there on accident or intentionally, I'm not quite sure. It's interesting to see that all the same. 3 members of the Zodiac B team are playing close on site, just trying to sort of turtle hold right here. But the remaining member, I believe it's Ruben, is currently off on the roam upstairs at the moment, as SBRX Gamer managed to pick up the first kill onto Ilgit, removing that Zofia from the board. So far, Woods and Ilgit not exactly having the best of games, both of them having died almost every single round. Karmaz, though, getting into a gunfight with SBRX, and Karmaz eventually able to win that one out. However, a quick swing from YJXMO does get a refrag back onto Karmaz. I mean, it's team pushing. Krusty that does get taken out by Woods, though, who was pushing up from the pantry staircase. And now with deciding that that is not the best position to push from, we do see Woods rotating up to the China stairs and beginning to push in from this side. However, he is faced by a castle barricade, and with a claymore in pockets, it's going to be quite difficult for him to get this open. Now playing around and coming into an attack fight with Ruben. Shots coming out from both of them. Ruben winning that gunfight for now, but of course Woods now just completely bugging out. Somehow not able to actually finish off Ruben as Ruben swings out on the red stairs. Somehow still being allowed to walk away with all his life. Meanwhile, though, Joshua is just sat outside the pantry window, just biding his time, deciding exactly where he wants to push from. And when his decision is made, he will make his entry, whether that be through laundry, bicycle storage, or the pantry position. With Joshua on the Hibana, though, he can, of course, use just 2 of those pellets since her rework to, of course, get castle barricades open. And with castle being on the board, currently dying a couple of entry points into sight, it will be quite useful for the Zodiac team. Another rotate from Woods, though, does mean that, of course, he is now at the top of the pantry stairs. Shots come out, don't quite land onto the castle of Juxmo. But now Juxmo is going to be swinging this angle, and a good shot from Juxmo there does collect himself the double kill and now leaves this in a 1v2 situation. Joshua has to kill both of these two remaining players in the remaining 30 seconds to end up winning this one. Currently just waiting and holding this angle patiently onto the laundry door. Will Ruben get bored and decide to swing? Hopefully not. He does hear that flash coming out and chooses the perfect opportunity to swing and shoot. Unfortunately not quite able to pick it up. The call now being made that Hibana is in. She's in the bicycle storage. Will Ruben just watch across? No, he's still watching the laundry position. And Juxmo collects himself a triple by cleaving the head of Joshua straight off of his body. Very interesting. BA versus RNS first map was so good. BA won first map. Indeed, I've been keeping tabs on it and keeping people updated who are, of course, choosing to come and watch this game. What's happening with the second map at the moment, Franco? Are you still watching it, or have you come over here instead? I know they were crying about fucking Ella Shotgun, which, to be honest, it's annoying. But if you know someone's playing Ella Shotgun, drone out her position and play far back. Nade her. There's ways around it. We'll let you know in a bit. Cheers, Franco. Like I say, I'm trying to keep tabs where I can, but I don't want to crash my computer by having loads of streams open. Of course, I've got my stream window open, so I can control all of this. I can chat to you guys. I can see everything going on in the chat. And of course, if I was then running another stream on the side of that, I only have two monitors, and funny enough, one of them is being currently used to watch this game on. So yeah, we'll just have to let Franco and others who, of course, are dipping in and out to keep us updated on how that game's going. But it's certainly an interesting one so far. RNS going undefeated, but now BAE confirming their undefeated streak into the playoffs.
Attackers have discovered the location of the bomb.
I will talk more on that later. For now, though, as we have now seen, Zodiac B win put another round on the board. Sorry, they have been able to. Excuse me, go back to the Aviator and Games Room, and this will be the side that they're holding. A very good stronghold from them in the first round, some nice opening picks. Did see them take the first round, and hopefully a few more as we continue on with this game. 5-1 for RNS on the second map at the moment. Looks like both teams then, in that case, Franco, will be going into the playoffs in an unbeaten position, as of course both walking away with a draw will see them have that staple. Karmad's getting contested here by the pistol wielding SBRX, who's trying to swing the study door. Ace is now being used to open up that wall, just create little footholes so that they can try and get rid of any bandits playing on that position. But no wall denial actually being bought here on the side of the Zodiac B team does mean that, of course, that wall can very easily be open. A sledge, though, of Ill Guilt currently pushing secretly and silently up the red stairs. About to wander straight into sight. Will, of course, the Zodiac B team be well aware of him pushing in from this position? Or will they not? He's now in sight. He's behind the vault door. Has the call been made? I'm not quite sure. Was that Woods just impacting himself? I believe that maybe was. He lost lots of health and there's nobody near him. He may have just impacted himself. Oh dear. Anyway, Sledge is now actually in sight behind that vault door. This could prove incredibly critical to whichever way this round will fall. But there we go. If does manage to get SPRX gamer, but the call has now been made that he's in the vault. Unfortunately, Ruben is not able to pick him up. But Jaxmo has managed to get the down onto Karmaz and also the kill onto Woods. Ilguilt, though, in sight, has been able to put the Zodiac B team. A pre-fire coming out now from Jaxmo. Isn't able to find anybody, and the second time he swings, unfortunately, the sledge of Ilguilt is there ready for him and takes him off the scoreboard, getting himself a quad kill in this round right here and giving 2 rounds in favour of the main Zodiac team.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
The next site the Zodiac B will be deciding to defend will be the top floor, and it will take us to the statutory and trophy room. Haven't tried this one just yet, so we'll just have to wait and see how this one will play out for them. Of course, actually deciding to bring a little bit of the Wardenar this time in the form of the Cade. And of course, with I believe the Thatcher being banned, I can't tell on this screen, but I will find out for you in a little bit. Yes, with the Cade being on the board, I'm not sure there's too much that they have on the side of the main Zodiac roster to actually be able to get rid of that Cade. They do have Karmaz running the IQ, who of course could spot stuff from below and shoot up through the floor. However, depending on the positioning of it, will depend on how easy or not it is to get rid of. Oh yes, Karmaz, we all just saw you whiff on that. Oh dear, on that camera, the timing. I'm very good at catching people's whiffs. It seems to be something that I'm very good at. So far, though, SBRX sitting in the corner of the walk-in closet, just waiting with that Ella shotgun for any unfortunate victims to try and bolt in there. If, of course, nobody drones him out. If a drone does come through, though, he may be in quite a sticky situation, especially if the gunfight ends up being long distance, because, of course, with that shotgun, it's not very good at the long distance. Now being pressured from both sides, SBRX does get down, and Ilfgilt does push in and also get at wide Juxmo. Karmaz, it's just no need for that. No need for the teabag. No need for it. Anyway, now Ruben and Krusty Haw are now the only remaining members. Currently, a thermite charge being used on the singular vault wall to try and open up that 90 position. But Ruben swinging around does collect ahead of Joshua, who just got that wall open. Shots coming out onto the Zofia, not quite able to land, but the C4 being thrown. Does manage to down her on the left-hand side. He maybe doesn't realise it, so as Karmaz has now pushed on into the astronomy room, does also get the down onto her and finishes her off. Ruben now left in a 1v1 is all down to them. Gets himself a triple. Will this be the quad for the victory? As you now see Ilfgilt pushing in from the statutory room. However, a quick peek from Ruben does walk himself straight in front of those bullets being pre-fired out. And the third round falls, or the fifth round falls in favour of Zodiac, giving them 3 rounds to 2 so far in this game. Oh dearie. Apologies for the bits of silence, everybody. I've just had a bit of a long day. Not feeling my best this evening, but still wanting to, of course, give you the stream that I can. And there are those sort of downtimes between stuff. And unfortunately, due to, like I say, the situation that we're faced with a 4v4, does mean that this one is maybe slightly more difficult than it would be to cast in a normal situation. But at least now as the numbers are more even, being in this 4v4 situation, it is slightly easier to cast. But as I say, I'm not feeling 100% this evening, so apologies for my silence bits as well. Also, I'm just wanting to save my voice. After the stream that I did, I believe, Thursday? My throat is somewhat raw, so I'm just making sure I don't end up losing my voice. Fingers crossed, anyway. Site of choosing for Zodiac B on their final defense before we see these two sides swap will be onto the kitchen and meeting or dining or memorial. I can't remember what the bloody room's called. What is it called? Who's in that room? SBRX is. It's the dining room. It's the kitchen and the dining room. I always thought so. Memorial room is this one here, I believe. And this one is the dining room. It's always difficult to tell. Despite enjoying playing on... Oh my goodness, Ruben, what did you do to Joshua? Not quite sure where Joshua's entry point was on this one. Oh, I believe... Yep, Ruben was just prone underneath the window. Joshua vaulted in, assuming it would be clear because it's on the opposite side of the map. But unfortunately for him, it was not. And Ruben knifed him in the asshole. To put it bluntly. An aggressive angle, though, being played here right now by SBRX Gamer. Currently can't, unfortunately, see any part of the Gridlock, who was just quickly peeking that door. Otherwise, that would have been an easy kill for him. Of course, so just being completely... just in the middle of the doorway would have been a very easy pick for him. But unfortunately for him, he was not quite able to do so. Anyway, we now see Woods now rotating off, deciding to go for a slightly different push, but of course being faced by that castle barricade does mean that his entry points are limited somewhat. And of course, with the 4v3 situation being in favour of Zodiac B, the main Zodiac team now need to do something to, of course, bring themselves back into this one. A few more kills in their direction would certainly help on this one, as we do now see Karmaz sneaking up the back stairs to the bottom of Astro stairs, ready to swing towards the China position and start pushing in from there. Woods has now linked up, thinking that, of course, they still have a Roma to be dealing with all the way over on the art studio main stairs side. Meanwhile, though, Ilfgilt has now started droning into sight and getting that intel that maybe his team need. The castle spots the drone out and gets rid of it quite quickly. But now the Ash jumps in. A beautiful shot there. Beautiful little pre-fire from Ilfgilt does manage to collect ahead of Wajixmo. There is more presence still around as Krusty swings the angle, collects the kill. Ruben gets himself another one on the roam as well. Collects up Woods. And finally, Karmaz is left in a 1v3 situation. Will we see a perfect split between these two teams headed into the second half, a 3-3 rounds apiece? Or will Karmaz be able to clutch up big right here, right now, and bring his team to victory? He doesn't quite see SPRX. In fact, he does. He managed to actually claim SPRX with a cheeky little flick right there. SPRX does do a bit of damage to him, but unfortunately is unable to finish it off. But Ruben, the ever-watchful Guardian Angel from above, is able to finally secure that kill onto Karmaz, getting the instant refrag and securing a 3-3 split for these two teams as we see them now swapping sides. And of course the Zodiac B team moving on to the attack and the main Zodiac team moving on to the defense. Will of course this change matters, or will we see a equal split in the second half of this match? Will we go all the way to overtime? Are these two teams just so evenly matched when they are in this position, where of course they are in a 4v4? Hey Connor, how you doing? Cheers for tuning in. I'm guessing the Black Angels versus RNS is now finished. Was it 7-1, 7-2? What was the score? Do tell, so the rest of us who are in here can find out. Now still going, fair enough. 6-2 at the moment, fair enough.
As many bombs as they can.
Also, can RNS stop being salty? I thought their whole thing was they were only salty when Saint was in it, and now they're not. But they're getting so butthurt about an Ella shotgun. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, come and enjoy the fun. Like I say, at the halfway split, we are even between these two teams at the moment. Of course, in the unique situation of being in a 4v4 situation, does make this one quite the bizarre game. But the fact that we do see an even split between the Zodiac B roster and the main Zodiac team is quite promising, and does also hint at the fact that maybe this would have been an incredibly good game to watch had we been able to get full 5-man rosters for both of these two sides. Unfortunately though, as I say, we weren't able to. The first map, I believe, was 7-2 in favour of the main Zodiac team, because they were a 5v3 to begin with, and then it fell to a 4v3. So now we find ourselves here. Woods picking himself up an early kill, a cheeky little spawn peek, I believe. Manages to collect himself SPRX Gamer, who has now swapped onto the Ash in that opening engagement. SPRX maybe not doing as well as he'd hoped so far. He was saying he would be top fragging, but unfortunately he's not. He may be MVP at the moment, but he's certainly not top fragging on his team, which may mean I get a subscription at the end of this. Karmaz has unfortunately lagged out, so that does mean that, of course, the situation that we find ourselves in does put the main Zodiac roster at rather a disadvantage right here, as Woods now takes a load of shots as well from Jaxmo, who was pushing in from the Wolf window. Ruben is also pushing in at the top of the red stairs, just finding some footprints at the moment, deciding exactly which ones he's going to scan, and then from there, of course, pushing on inside, being aggressive. A nice cheeky pre-fire coming out there from Woods does even things up, giving a clean headshot onto Ruben, but Jaxmo uses the opportunity to push on into the trophy room, but an instant trade coming out right there. Jaxmo getting Woods, Joshua getting the trade straight back, picking up Jaxmo, but now Krusty is pushing in. If only he'd looked in the right direction, he would have been able to see Joshua, his head just peeking up above that low wall into trophy. Unfortunately though, he was not able to, and now it is just Krusty versus Joshua. Joshua does have that Ella shotgun in hand, which of course can prove deadly, but Krusty, as Joshua swings, is able to pick up the kill, and the first attacking round for the Zodiac B team does go in favour of them. 4 rounds to 3 right now in favour of the Zodiac B team. This is exactly what we want to see. Karmaz has not been able to join back yet, so I will give this one a quick pause while we wait to see what's going on there. But of course, if he is coming back, then he should join back in the next few moments. If he isn't, then of course we will carry on. And then, oh, how the tables have turned. We will then be in a 4v3 situation, but with the Zodiac B team having the advantage rather than the main team, the A team, you could say. Of course, being in that situation. If Zodiac B loses this map, they can't qualify for the playoffs. Indeed. Karmaz's Wi-Fi minutes for him to come back. Hopefully it won't take him too long. Just leave it paused for now. RNS about to win. Fair enough. That means that both teams go into playoffs undefeated. Am I not correct, Connor? Congratulations. There you go. It's official. For those of you that are in the Discord, Connor has just popped it in the announcements channel, stating that, of course, Rebel Nation Shadow have won the league or group stage phase, whatever you want to call it, unbeaten. They have, of course, just had this draw between the Black Angels team, I believe. But it's certainly quite promising for, of course, what we're going to see from both of these teams as we head into the playoffs. Black Angels, of course, not going through in the top spot does mean that they will be having a few games, but RNS do now get basically a couple of weeks break, just have a bit of a chill, bit of a relax before they go into the grand final. That may be a positive for them, it may be a negative, we will just have to wait and see, but Black Angels are guaranteed 2 best of 3s being played before they make it to the grand final. If indeed they do make it to the grand final, they may end up losing their unbeaten streak to one of the other teams that have currently made it into playoffs. The 5th playoff spot is currently being played for at the moment, I believe, even in this game. If, of course, Zodiac are able to win, the main Zodiac team, that is, are able to win this map, then, of course, it gives them the best opportunity to secure themselves into that final playoff spot. However, of course, if the Zodiac B team, as they're currently winning this one, are able to win this out, then it denies the main Zodiac team from getting to playoffs. I'm not sure who will go in their stead. But either way, the other teams that we do see in the playoff spots are currently Counteract, Paradox, and Black Angels. The 5th, as I say, playoff spot is yet to be decided, but we will get there. Hopefully, today's game and the following ones from today will, of course, show us where all the teams are and exactly who will be playing in those positions.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Site being chosen here by the main Zodiac roster now that Karmaz has been able to restart his router and join back. It is going to be the Aviator and Games Room. Sorry, do excuse me a second, I have something in my eye. I believe Eyelash has been evicted from my eye, so I'm now able to actually see again. I can focus on the casting. Pretty standard setup coming out here, as standard as it can be, of course, with only 4 people in play. But the positive now, with, of course, an update that came in quite some time ago, but, of course, is proving dividends in this situation for the team right now. The fact that they are in a 4v4, in previous years of Siege, would have meant they only had 8 reinforcements to use between them, 2 for each player that was in the team. However, with the introduction of the reinforcement pool, it does mean that 1 player could actually reinforce every single wall, all the 10 that each team is allowed. But an opening pick going the way of Ilgit does mean that Zodiac are now in the driving seat. An aggressive push out here onto Krusty. He ends up, unfortunately, losing that one. But a quick trade coming back from SPRX Gamer does even this one up somewhat, although we are now in a 2v3 situation. SBR is currently playing on the study bat with the red dot sight on Zofia. Certainly an interesting choice, not one of my personal choices. But a cheeky little flick from Wajexmo there, able to collect the head of Woods, but unfortunately not able to collect anything of Maz. Carmaz, sorry, only about 25 damage being done. Carmaz over the hip fire, not actually able to secure that kill until eventually he is able to do so. Now it's just Joshua and Carmaz left in the 2v1 situation. Carmaz is down by SBRX Gamer and now in a 1v1. SBRX now needs to try and find and win out against Joshua here. The ripping of a C4 can be heard through the soft wall. Fortunately though for SBRX, the C4 doesn't manage to find anything. A Claymore now being placed down right in front of the vault door. He does have diffusers, so he could go for the plant if he so wished. But I think he decides better of it right now and is just waiting for a possible swing to come out from Joshua. But a drone now being put in play to see if he can try and find Joshua's position. And of course play around him from here to try and get the victory for his team. That would then put them 2 rounds ahead. And only 1 round off match point. And 2 rounds off the victory without us seeing overtime in this one. So it's certainly a crucial round for SBRX right here and the Zodiac B team. He's now going for the plant. Joshua hears it. Yes, indeed he does. He starts running forward, decides better of it. Did though bait out the fact that stopping SBRX from securing that diffuser. Now getting into a gunfight with Joshua behind that dining bar. It's all coming down to the final few moments. Impacts being sent out and also the concussion mines. Shots coming out from both players who will win this one. SBRX on much lower health and Joshua eventually lands the headshots with the SMG-11 in hand. Securing round number 8 for the main Zodiac team. A clutch that SPRX really wanted for his team to give them that advantage. But instead, after 8 rounds, we are equal at 4 apiece. Heading into round number 9 now. Who will actually come out on top of these two teams? They've been trading backwards and forwards since the start of this second map of Villa. Will, of course, this continue all the way, which may even result in us seeing overtime in this one? Or will one of these teams be able to start getting a little bit more momentum under them and start pushing a bit forward and, of course, get the rounds that they need under their belt? Both these teams now being 2 rounds off securing themselves that match point. And then, of course, 1 round from there will secure them the win unless we do see overtime, as I have already said. We'll just have to wait and see on this one. The site being chosen by the main roster will be that of the statutory and trophy room. So we'll just have to now see exactly what's going to occur here. Thank you, by the way, FA Nova, for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in and dropping a follow. Cheers, man. As I said before, a relatively standard setup coming out of here from the Zodiac B team. The only thing that they don't have is an extra operator on the board to maybe include within their strategies, but they do still have all the reinforcements that they need and can possibly use. They just have to make sure they're all being put down. But with 3 still left in their pockets, of course, somehow they can fit in their pockets. I'm not quite sure what they're going to be doing on this one. And where there are some crucial walls that are currently being left unreinforced. Looks like SPRX Gamer is getting into some fun early doors, and a trade there coming out between them before I could swap to their POVs. SPRX managing to get Ilvgit, but Ilvgit also managing to get SPRX. Not necessarily the way that either of them wanted for it to go, but of course it does leave both teams in equal positions as we move further on into this game. A sort of split push coming here, though, from the Zodiac B team. They have spotted some footprints, though, in China, and the scan comes out because they do have Jackal on the board. The Legion has now been spotted. He's over towards the red stairs. Some pre-fires going out from the likes of Ruben, but not quite able to land onto anything. Woods has now escaped back upstairs to, in inverted commas, safety. As we do now see Krusty jumping outside and deciding to go up on the rappel to try and, by the looks of it, push into the bathroom. Carmazzo does get taken out by Jaxmo, but being left on 1 hit point or 2 by the looks of it could possibly prove crucial for Zodiac maybe being able to clinch out the victory here, as of course we do see Joshua with the smoke canisters in hand and possibly able to of course do that very tiny tick of damage that is needed to take the Jackal off the scoreboard here. Woods though was able to pick up a kill onto Krusty, but is also on quite low health himself. He's only on 30 HP. A down though, as of course being on such low health, Jack Smoke would just fall to anything, and a bullet to wherever that hits him is enough to of course take him out. Ruben though has now hit a goo mine pushing in from the top of red stairs, and he needs to decide exactly how he's going to be pushing this one, knowing that he is actually only in a 1v2. Starts trying to push on into Trophy, but once again he seems to be having some issues with ping. Now is not the time, once again, Ruben. It seems every time he's in one of these clutch situations he seems to have some issues, but hearing Woods on the red stairs, he is able to of course flick across and get the shots onto him. Pre-fire coming out onto Joshua, not quite able to land the shots as required. Bits of damage being done onto Ruben right now from the goo mine. With that shield still in play though, Joshua's in quite a safe position, and Jack Smoke is unreachable to be getting picked up. Ruben though still of course taking quite a bit of damage there from the goo mine. Left now on 50 hit points with only 18 seconds left on the clock. He needs to do something against Joshua, but Joshua's pushed up into the wolf room and is able to eventually pick up Ruben, now giving the main Zodiac roster the advantage over the B team right here. Currently now being 1 round ahead of the other. 5 rounds to 4 as we head into round number 10. Can Zodiac B answer back right here, or will we see the main Zodiac cross to be able to start taking this one a little bit more and possibly secure themselves that 5th playoff spot, or certainly keep themselves in the running for that position? Oh, excuse my nose. Apologies everybody that I'm so sniffy this evening. Like I say, I'm not feeling great, and evidently I'm not feeling great physically as well as mentally. It's just been a long day, I'm tired, I want to go to bed. But we're here, we're going to give you the best stream that we can given the circumstances. Once all of this is over, I will go get some well-deserved dinner in me, and then I'm going to hit the bed. I'm doing not stats all day. I've nearly finished all of week 7. And hopefully once I've finished all those stats for you guys, we'll be able to get them released on the server so you can all start having a look at the interesting statistics that we have from games all the way from week 1 all the way to week number 9, which we are currently on right now. There will be other stats that will be being produced for, of course, the playoffs and the finals, but they will all be done separately and released after the season is over. For now though, we're focusing on this game, and stats will come probably tomorrow when I end up doing them. Once again though, we do see Ilvgit playing very aggressively on this main entrance door, although this time it does seem that nobody will be contesting this position, at least not yet, on the side of the Zodiac B team. Nobody seems to be even in the same vicinity. They've just decided completely against pushing her, excuse me. Well, Jack Smoke is able to get an early frag this time onto Karmaz. Certainly a good opening frag, and one that they needed, taking out the Rooney, who was on the top floor. And of course that Jackal still being left in play does mean that any further roamers can of course be tracked down using that footprint scanner to try and find where they are lurking. Of course, start applying pressure onto them. Woods does take a little bit of damage, not quite sure where. Is this SPRX getting into a gunfight? Yes indeed it is. SPRX is now chasing Woods up the back staircase, but Ruben is sat at the top waiting for him. A nice little pincer manoeuvre there between the two players on the B team does mean that of course Woods falls, and now we are left in this 4v2 situation. Joshua is put on incredibly low health, but is actually able to down Jack Smoke in the process. But now with SPRX and Krusty pushing on into site, they could possibly go for the plant right here, especially since Ilvgit is all the way off site still. Currently playing above, has now dropped into laundry. Ilvgit does manage to TK Joshua. I'm not sure whether that was intentional, but unfortunately it's going to be quite critical for the round, as SPRX is able to eventually pick up Ilvgit after he pushes in through the laundry position. And now with rounds even apiece, the next team that gets the next victory will see themselves onto match point, and then they are only 1 round win away from securing this map number 2. Or of course, if we see continued trading between these two teams like we are sat here watching right now, then of course we may even see overtime. That will certainly be exciting to see that come out between these two teams and exactly which one will win. Of course, if they keep trading backwards and forwards like this, it's just whichever one gets that final round. It will all boil down to the one very, very, very final round, the 15th round of this game. But of course, for now, though, we are on round number 11. We still have at least 4 more to go before we reach that point. So we will just have to wait and see on that one.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Who's pinging me on Discord? Let's have a quick look.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Apologies everybody for that. The site being chosen by the main Zodiac team this time will be the Aviator Games Room. This time though, with Mira being unmanned, they've decided to bring her along on this one, using her on that singular reinforced wall to try and get a bit more control and to stop the attacking team from, of course, getting that control and position. But if, of course, it has been droned out on the side of Zodiac B, then they may just opt to not even... excuse me, to not even bother pushing onto the study balcony or even into study, and instead go for a back take. But so far, all the members playing around this position, it does look like maybe a front entrance push is what they're going to be doing. Ruben, though, having possibly some more issues, does get taken out by Karmaz at the bottom of the main stairs. A nice opening pick for the main roster there. However, Ilvgilt does unfortunately lag out on that one, and SBRX is able to pick up Woods as he repels in an aggressive peek from the mirror, and a pre-fire does take her head clean off, and it's now a 3v2 situation. SBRX on quite low health though, does walk into a goose, so does need to stop and remove that. But nobody there from the... oh, a cheeky little pre-fire onto the 90 angle does take out Joshua, who was crouched there waiting for the swing. The remaining member now is Karmaz, who is currently sat close on the aviator door, just waiting for somebody to push in. A Jackal track though does come out, and he's being pincered by 2 members of the B team. Does manage to take out Krusty in that gunfight though, but being left on 25 hit points and being pincered by 2 remaining members does mean that Karmaz is able to down the Zofia. But SBRX is able to pick up the kill, doing slightly more damage from her AR onto Karmaz, securing round number 11. The Zodiac B team securing themselves match point. A quick little pause here to allow Ilvgilt to join right back, but that was a very unfortunate timing for him to, of course, disconnect out of this one. But hopefully he will get joined back. He'll be able to join back nice and quick, and we will see a 4v4 going into possibly the final round of this one. If it isn't the final round, though, we will be heading to overtime in this game. And it will all boil down to those final 3 rounds that, well, maximum 3 rounds, minimum 2, that will be played in the overtime. Like I said, just waiting to see whether, I believe it's Nav, will be joining back. So we will just have to wait and see. Zodiac B on the verge of stopping their A team from qualifying from playoffs. Indeed, indeed. It's certainly an interesting one, Connor, despite the fact that, of course, we are in these unusual circumstances. Uh-oh. Oh no. I've just seen, ladies and gentlemen, that of course the bet that I made with SPRX, that if he top frags on this one, then, well, if he doesn't top frag, he has to sub to me. If he does top frag, I have to gift him a sub. And currently, the man's sat on top of both his team and both of the teams with 11 kills to his name so far. So I'm getting a little bit sweaty under the collar about that one. Hopefully, at the end of this one, either YJaxmo or Ruben is able to pop up slightly more and could, of course, clinch it from him, either getting 11 or 12 kills. Of course, if it's a draw, I think we both walk away with nothing. But whichever way it goes, I hope both of us will uphold our end of the bargain. I certainly know I will provide him with a gifted sub. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Hopefully we do get Nav back in nice and quick. If he's not back within the next couple of minutes, so I will continue on the game. Tomorrow could be an expansion versus Vortex playoff qualifier match. Indeed, it could. So Connor, since you're in chat at the moment, if this ends up being a Zodiac B win, will it mean that tomorrow's match, is it basically the winner or loser from that game will be the person that secures himself the playoff qualifier position, i.e. the 5th place? So if Expansion win, they get the spot. If Vortex win, they get the spot. Is that basically as simple as it? Vortex can afford a draw. Okay. So Expansion need the win, Vortex need minimum draw. Cool. Cool. It's going to be an interesting one. We may have to do a rehost here just to allow a little bit more time for Nav to join back. But we'll wait and see exactly what Zodiac want to be doing with it. Expansion win would put them level on points with a better head-to-head. Okay. Vortex draw would mean they can't be caught up on points. Fair enough. Cool. So apologies for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. It does sound like Ivgil has unfortunately run into some internet issues that are meaning it's taken him some time to join back into the game. Hopefully it isn't too long before he is able to hop along in. But of course, I have paused the game for now, but after a period of time, I'm not quite sure how long it is, whether it's 5, 10 minutes, I'm not sure. It will automatically unpause itself, and I have no way to then re-pause it, unfortunately. Hopefully he joins back before then, otherwise I believe the main Zodiac team will call a rehost on this one, and we will have to basically get everybody back in. And I'd have to remember exactly what's happened with all the rounds, which is going to be quite interesting. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. I do know that, yeah, I can probably figure it out. I'll do my best anyway. Oh, dear me. Then a Zodiac A win would mean Vortex only need a point as they beat Zodiac on head-to-head and Expansion can't qualify. Okay, so from what Connor has just provided me in the chat, of course you guys have all seen this as well, but just to clarify this for those of you that are watching, I believe that of course if the Zodiac A team, the blue team, are able to win out this map, then they will secure themselves the qualifying spot unless Vortex get themselves a singular point. So if Vortex draw tomorrow, even if Zodiac A win, Vortex will take the final playoff position, and that will mean Expansion cannot qualify for playoffs. However, if the main Zodiac team today end up losing, drawing in this final game, losing this game, but drawing in the best of 2 with the B team, it will mean that the Zodiac A team cannot qualify for playoffs, and it will mean that Expansion are in with a chance if they get the victory against Vortex in tomorrow's game. Cool, rehost has been called. So I will just leave the game and get this one all sorted out. Hopefully get this one set up nice and quick for you lovely people who are still watching this evening. How many of you we got today watching? I believe there's about 6 or 7 of you still left. Whether you're actively watching or not, thank you very much for just sticking around, even though it might be a little drier than some of the stuff we've seen previously, but at least at the end of the day, it's still an enjoyable game to watch and see how it's all going. There we go. Get things sent to Ruben and things sent to Kermas. There we go. Now I just need to sort out the match options, so bear with me 1 second. So we're on. There we go. I'll leave it at that until we get people in. There we are. Cool. If Karmas remain on the blue side, please. At Zodiac. Just to make my life easier. So, the blue team would then be starting on attack and then Zodiac B. Yep, so basically I need 3 for 3. First 3 blue, second 3 orange. Then we want a blue win, an orange win, a blue win, an orange win. Then we want an orange win. And the last one was Aviator Games. But what was the last one that was won by the blue team? I think it was an orange and a blue. And it was... Fuck it, let's do it on... It's Kitchen Dining, I believe. I think I've got all that right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I do. We'll just have to wait and see where we get the final players joined into this one. Just waiting for 2 more players. I believe Joshua and Ivgilt's already here, so it will be Woods. Once they are both into the lobby, we will get going straight away. But if the timer ends up ticking down all the way to only like 20, 19 minutes left on the server, then we'll go in regardless because you're only allowed 10 minutes on the rehost. Of course, it's from when I start the server, so we'll just have to wait and see how long it takes people to get joined back in, but hopefully we can get this final round played out nice and quick for you, ladies and gentlemen. And we can see whether the B team will best the A team, or will the A team be able to bring it back, push it into overtime, and then of course one of the two end up winning. Who knows at this point? It's all up in the air, and it's certainly going to be a close one. Of course, we do see the likes of the B team though currently leading in front of the main team. So they only need one round to secure themselves this victory. And hopefully they are able to secure it. It will be quite interesting though to of course see that given the strange circumstances that we have faced today, with of course the B team basically not being able to field their full five, that they are still able to beat out the main team and deny them their playoff spot. Of course, there's still a lot that has to happen before Zodiac would be able to secure themselves that playoff spot, but the main Zodiac roster would have to win tonight's game, and also for expansion to win tomorrow's game versus Vortex for, of course, them to make it into the playoffs. Anyway, everybody is now in on this one. Oh, for... You've got to be shitting me. Hopefully, when I pause, he can join back in because he was in the server. I'm pausing timer. We will... Oh, fuck, I haven't done bans. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Who was banned? I don't remember who was banned. Can anybody in chat remember who the banned ops were? Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to have to work this one out. Can I? Unfortunately, I can't seem to... Is there any way to go on? Oh, dearie me. Thank you. So the bans are as follows: Callie, Thatcher, Ward, and Goyo. And now we are just waiting for Nav to join back. If, of course, he can't join back, we may end up seeing this game turn into a 4v3 at this rate, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, it, of course, doesn't come to that. Hopefully, Nav will be able to get his internet issues sorted out nice and quick, and he will be able to join back in. It's just unfortunate that, of course, we got everything sorted underway, and although I messed up on the operator picks and bans, sorry, we do, of course, find ourselves in this situation. Either way, though, we do see the Zodiac B team with the advantage. If, of course, they do end up going into this possibly the final round with this numbers advantage, 4 men versus 3, then they may have just clinched this second map and, of course, completely knocked their main team out of playoff contention, which will certainly be an interesting end for this organisation for them and for this Season 1. However, I'm sure the main team are hoping that Nav is able to join back, or they're able to maybe string a couple of good rounds together on this one to, of course, result in them getting not only the the round win that they need to see this into overtime, but hopefully the victory overall. Also, I've also got to see whether I end up losing a bet or not. So, as I've already mentioned to you guys, I did make a bet with SBRX because he was unfortunately having to cast a game before this one took place, which meant that he was unable to play in map number 1. Due to that, he was saying in my Twitch chat, with all you lovely people who are still watching today, that he would top frag on his team in this second game. At the moment, he is actually doing so. Of course, we unfortunately can't see the scores, but he was sat on 11 kills when we went into the rehost. Start, please, has been asked by Karmaz. Does look like they're not getting nav back, unfortunately. So we go into the possibly final round with the Zodiac B team, of course, having their 4-man versus the 3 of the main Zodiac roster, so we'll just have to wait and see how this one plays out. As I said though, SPRX is currently sat on 11 kills. This game looks stressful as fuck. As in from a casting point of view, or just the actual them playing it point of view, Connor? Which way around? Because, to be honest, I think it could be either at this point. Of course, with the main Zodiac team being on the defense, there's still plenty they could do here. Playing well together, making sure to get their refrags, and maybe getting a few aggressive opening picks could prove crucial to their victory right here. However, the Zodiac B team, if they do also play well together, push in as a unit, then it could be quite difficult for, of course, the refrags to occur on the Zodiac side. So the B team may be able to come through and clinch this second map. The site being chosen will be the Aviator Games Room, as it was still available due to the fact that they lost it on their previous time of trying. And now we see the Zodiac B team going inside. Hopefully they don't lose their heads right here. Hopefully they don't get too overconfident and try and do too much when they just need to do a tiny little bit to get the victory on this one. So we will just have to wait and see. Ruben is already in the building though. And as I was saying earlier, SBRX is currently sat on 11 kills. If, of course, he top frags for his team, I owe him a gifted sub. So I will be sorting that one out afterwards. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully I can actually get it sorted so that he gets a sub rather than anybody else. I will have to investigate this, but I have promised him it. If not, I will just PayPal him the money. But we now see Krusty throwing in the ace and opening up. Karmaz does get it downed and killed by SBRX. He's managed to pick himself up another kill, currently on 12 kills at the moment. He does see that Joshua reinforcing the wall, so just goes super aggro, running in and getting himself a third kill. The final member of Woods, though, is in the back of sight, and Ruben does collect another kill, put himself on 11 overall, but SBRX has now not only helped his team and Zodiac B clinch the draw in this one, but he has also secured himself a gifted sub. Very well done to SBRX, very well done to the entire Zodiac B team, or what remains of it, for of course putting up an incredibly good fight given the strange circumstances that we find ourselves in this one. Unfortunately for the Zodiac main team though, this now does mean that they will not be making playoffs. Their own B team has now sealed their fate by removing the chance for them ever to make it into playoffs for this season number 1. Hopefully, though, both or only one of these teams will decide to stick around, depending, of course, what they want to do for the following season. And, of course, if they do want to stick around, then we hope to have them and see them, of course, bring in possibly some new players. And, of course, moving forward, we may even get to see them making it to the playoffs in season number 2. But all of that will be in season number 2. For now, though, for both of these teams, their journey for season 1 ends here for them, unfortunately. But well played to both of them today. Despite the unfortunate circumstances, it was still pretty good fun to cast you guys today. I'm glad that we were able to continue it, and apologies that for those of you viewing that we did of course have some of these issues where it was not a full 5v5. However, I hope you all enjoyed it all the same, and thank you all very much for tuning in. I do have a gifted sub to try and work out how to give to him. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yes, SBRX. I'm gonna have to get that sorted out for you, buddy. I need to work out how to do it. I think I know a way. But like I say, I will get that all sorted out for you hopefully shortly. If not, I might have to grab your PayPal details and just drop you like a fiver or something. But yes, you very much won that bet fair and square, dropping 13 kills to help your team towards the victory in the end. So congratulations for that. Anyway, as I was saying already, thank you very much everybody for tuning in this evening. Apologies, it maybe wasn't what you were quite expecting, but it's been fun all the same. Do make sure to stick around as tomorrow's game, where we do see a Vortex Gaming take on Expansion. This will be the final game of the league stage / group stages, whichever one you want to call it, and it's going to be quite an interesting battle. Both of those teams have the possibility to clinch that final playoff spot, and it will all boil down to that final game with who makes it into playoffs. Expansion have to win and get the full 3 points to be able to qualify. However, Vortex just need the draw to qualify, since they do have the round difference on head-to-head. So be sure to tune into that game tomorrow. I believe Chanka will be streaming it, so be sure to go over and drop him a follow if you haven't done already. So there we are. Anyway, thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in this evening. I will love you and leave you this evening. Hope you all have a good evening. And like I say, be sure to tune in to more games tomorrow, and make sure to stick around and pay attention for when we both have the playoff games and also the grand final and captain's match that will be coming up in the playoffs part of season number 1 of the ERSL. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have a good evening, and ciao for now.